to comment on how?
Let me see the ring.
Oh, it's
That's fucking
$13
cool.
from Amazon, mate.
Looks good. Looks good.
Thank you.
Watch. I'm like, hey man, this
Doesn't
guy's
work.
styling
Doesn't
up.
work.
They never do.
They never.
Yeah, just pick this up. It only started working again.
Yeah. Well, we don't wear them to tell the time.
Yeah, exactly. So what time it is?
So, let me just take a shot. How was your journey over, Izzy?
What's that?
How was your journey over?
Easy. Yeah, I slept the whole way.
Nice.
Yeah, slept. So now I'm acclimatized.
Yeah. So Israel, or Izzy as you're known in this part of the world.
Yes, Izzy Adesanya.
First of all, I want to say, it's like the clothes, as beautiful as ever.
Thank you.
Is this
Astra's got me
engaged
this.
special?
You know the vibes. Have to represent. Astra's got me this as well. So, yeah, came out dressed up for you. You look very good too.
Thank you very much,
Oh,
mate.
man, look at you.
Buy this.
I love it.
Contractually obligated to wear it,
Buy
but it is
this.
nice.
Yes.
Is it nice? If you look at the last couple of fights, right? It's safe to say there was a lot of energy expended, in terms of the beef, the race stuff, all the rest of it. Is it nice to have one where it's finally like, oh, it's just a physical contest. That's all I need to focus on.
Just straight up hands, man. Straight up hands. Yeah, for me, it's a lot of, thinking on how I approach this game and how I attack this game with each opponent. And with this one, I'm really excited that he seems like a cool dude, pretty chill, but dangerous man. And it's just going to be us throwing hands.
Yeah. It's when you're in it, right? And you're a person who likes these stories, you like narratives, you like milestones. I imagine when you're in it, it can be hard to realize, like, this is kind of draining me, It might only be after the fact, like, fuck, I was more bothered by that than I thought, or stuff like this. So have you learned since those two things, if you can still learn at this point of your career, like, that you're like, hey, it's just not worth getting invested like that anymore?
Well, I just know how to deal with it now. Like, for me, you can't take things personally. No matter what, even if it's personal, these guys don't know you, so you can't take things personally. So there's ways to attack those situations that I know now, and I will when the time arises. But the time hasn't arisen, and this isn't one of those, so I get to just go in there and just throw hands with this guy.
Yeah.
And feet.
And feet. And elbows and knees.
And
And
elbows,
all the good stuff.
Everything, yeah.
Do you think, is it kind of the universe's funny way of just showing you, like, hey, you're on the right track, that it then presents you Rob Whittaker to be like, see, we don't need a beef anymore.
It's crazy how life works, the story of life, the journey. When you actually play the game the way you want to play, it just unfolds. And that bit right there was special. That was cool to have him show up and just show love. We were there, we were training for like 4 or 5 days. But it was more just him being there. That was the special thing. And that was what I needed in that part of my camp, just to get me, that extra woof to the finish line.
It's funny, right? Because I feel like with that one, that was just two alphas being competitive at that point in their careers, right? And they just wanted to. The other one represented, you're in my fucking way, sort of
exactly.
Vibe. So we often see these stories of like, these guys sparred together and then they fight. It's kind of rarer that we see they fight, then they sort of go train together. Is there a moment where you're sort of looking at him and looking at his movement and being like, oh yeah, I remember this? Or was it like...
Oh yeah, definitely. When we were sparring, his blitz is crazy, yeah. Like,
1, 2, left high kick.
The high kick, yeah. I saw that. And also just the blitz, like he was really cool and sparring. No ego.
Yeah.
Just chill. Everyone always says, how can you not like Rob? But it's true. Like, I never hated him. He's just two big dogs, like, saying, this is my fucking yard.
Yeah.
And, now we could come together and make a pack, and Zach United.
Yeah. So, obviously, naturally, everyone saw that. And then they go, oh, when's the Pereira link up? When's Alex coming through?
It'll happen at some point, organically. We can't force these things. You know? Sometimes fans try and orchestrate these things. Now, Kith. That's not how it works. It just happens when it happens.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, he was on an Ariel show yesterday, and he said, I have to be grateful to Israel. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have come in the UFC on such a good contract. I probably wouldn't be where I am now. Do you appreciate, obviously the rivalry was what it was, but do you appreciate the appreciation he's now showing you and acknowledging, like, hey?
I like the fact, I didn't know he said it on Ariel, but we talked 2 or 3 weeks ago, just DMs, and he said that to me.
Yeah.
And I reciprocated it back. And, why dwell on things that don't serve you anymore? That's how I feel. So he realizes that, and I'm appreciative that he appreciates that, without me, that wouldn't be possible. And I appreciate what he's doing right now, because he's fucking just wrecking dudes. All his
Yeah.
fights is crazy, and it just makes me appreciate his game more.
Yeah. He's a funny one, right? Because he will say some nice things, and the next thing you know, it's
Trauma.
Adesanya, come to daddy, or whatever it
Trauma,
was. But I
yeah.
feel like when you start, because honestly, he got a title shot because it was the rivalry you guys had. The beef he had prior to the UFC is why he got a nice contract. Like the fact he's saying this all publicly does sort of show, like, okay, we're both just moved past that chapter, and it's just nice for the future, you know?
Oh, it's good. And again, look, we're competitors, so there's always going to be that bit, and I'm sure there'll be one time that me and him can, train together and stuff. But
No calf kicks.
yeah, no overhands, but you have what's his name? Lost now. He's gonna fight Jan,
Yeah.
and then he gets that done. He's fighting Alex.
I know, how crazy is that,
I'm
huh?
gonna, do my best to help Lost become the champion of the world as well, along with the team. So yeah, we're always competitors, but at the end of the day, we're all doing our best to try and achieve our dreams and make a better headway for our families.
I feel like I actually was jealous that I wasn't there. You, Dan, Volk, Rob, just all twirling around the gym, bro. It must be a very cool energy in there.
It was. That week was cool. It was a special time. And yeah, even Volk coming through the later part of camp and just watching me work and working himself. And I always draw from him whenever I see him, even without him doing anything. I draw a lot of inspiration just from him being there.
Yeah. Do we have a music festival this year in New Zealand?
Yes, we do. Yes, Afro Soul. I've ventured into, those fields a little bit, just quietly. But yeah, just trying to spread the culture more to the world because Nigerians are just excellent at what we do anywhere in the world. And the immigrants all over the world, academics, sports, whatnot, they excel. We excel everywhere. So yeah, I just want to show more of that, and also other parts of Africa. Just kind of bring the sights, the senses, the smells, all that.
I
Bring
plan
it
on
to-
attending. I can't promise I'll be the best dancer there.
No,
but,
you'll be fine. I've seen you dance. You can move. You'll be fine. Yeah.
Just a little different vibes. You know, one
That's what
time
we
I was in fucking random store. I was in Chicago
Yeah.
and I was in a club, and these guys were like professional dancers,
Oh,
and
yeah?
they're all doing it, and they put a bottle of beer on the floor, and they would do like moves over the bottle without
yeah.
knocking it.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Go white boy, go white boy." And I came and did an Irish jig, just kicked the bottle straight across the room, and fucking just stood up
I can
there.
imagine.
They just walked straight out.
This is what I do.
Goodbye. Speaking of chaotic
Yes.
idiots, Dan Hook is fighting Justin Gaethje.
My
Most
favorite.
stressful week of my life, probably coming
Yeah.
up in
Oh
March.
man, that's gonna be fucking. Bro, I know Dan. You know Dan.
Yes, yeah.
It's like we're gonna have a great game plan for Justin, but then once that, let's get it on.
Yeah.
And then once they touch leather to face,
Yeah.
those game plans are out the way. It's just gonna be a straight. I know it's we know it's gonna be crazy, and they're gonna stress out. I love this shit.
100%. Fuck, man. Izzy, always good to talk to you. I know you got
Oh,
a
is
bunch
that
of.
it?
Well, you just got a bunch of media. Oh, we can keep going.
Come on, let's go for a little bit, man. Come on, man. What we got?
Yeah, so we got the Hooker and Gaethje, and obviously, like, man, everything past that for him, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
For you, I know we're not doing future talk these days. Obviously, next week,
Yeah.
a couple of people.
Old foes.
You know, some old dudes, and I feel like those two are always right there, just because of the
Rivalry.
your status with the
Yeah.
UFC, the rivalry. Do you have an interest in watching that fight, or are you just like, you know what, part of this, I can't fixate on taking things personally? Do you have to just be like, I'm on my own path, and if those reconvene, they'll reconvene?
They'll pull up when they pull up. Again, like you said, I'm in my own lane, so I'm in a good place in life and in the game.
Yeah. You're looking, wow, bro, you're looking pretty big, bro.
I've done well this camp. Anyone who knows me, they know I've done well this camp. And each camp I've always, since the Marvin's second fight, Vittorious Part 2, I've always made sure each
We'll
camp
have to
is
get that
better.
trilogy next as well at some point.
Jesus
Marvin's
Christ.
got to run that back.
Nah, he can do that with himself. Yeah, I've just stepped up everything. And this camp was just full 100% focus, cut out a lot of distractions, not cut off people, but like just distance myself from people that weren't really serving me in my goal. So yeah, it really helped. It really helped just to fucking just like lock in.
Yeah. I was watching the fantastic YouTube channel Freestyle Bender.
Yes, sir.
And I noticed there's a lot more recovery, ice baths, oxygen.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think, which is more underrated for a fighter that young guys should learn about? mental preparation and visualization, or proper recovery?
Ooh, I have to say mental prep and visualization because that got me this far while I was young. Because I look at the guys at the gym now who are young and coming up, like the Navajos and all them. They're doing the things that I'm doing now, but they're doing it at their age, and I'm like, man, good job. Because I should have been doing that. I was not doing that. I was rolling up all types of ways to sparring sometimes and kicking ass and then going to sleep for 12 hours. So I'm happy that these young guys now are doing it the right way, the proper way, and looking after their bodies because I'm doing that now and I'm seeing the dividends is paying off. So I'm like, you know what? Congrats to them. They're doing it the best way.
When Dan came to Vegas before my fight and he watched me spar,
Yeah.
we'd had an evening.
I still want to spar you, bro.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
100%.
We'll get some rounds in.
We,
Because I've seen you spar and I'm like, fuck, he's good. Like, you're not.
And then it just, you get in there and it just like head movement out the window.
Yeah.
Just, like,
All plans. Whenever your first few fights are going to be like that,
Yeah.
it's just game plan out the window.
They did. I was at BKFC a couple of days ago and they did
Yeah.
maybe mention a name. So we'll see.
Okay.
Dan said I'm not allowed, so we'll have to
Oh,
negotiate with him.
True. Wait. An opponent, you mean?
They gave me a name. Would you fight this
Okay,
guy?
bet.
And then I was like, Dan.
And Dan's like, no.
I was like, can I fight this guy? And he went,
Hold on.
wait.
Okay, you can bleep that out.
I'm gonna.
I don't know him, but I'll have a look.
I'm gonna not slander someone here. It's weird when he's not training for a fight, he looks one way, and then when he's training for a fight, he looks really muscly, real quick. Suddenly.
Interesting.
And he's a bit bigger. But
Okay.
Dan just hit me with the no.
No, okay.
But anyway.
Dan probably knows. He's probably checked him out, but I'll check him out as well.
But what was funny was when we were sparring, we'd had a little night the night before,
Yeah.
and then I went in for sparring. And Dan's coaching method is just like, oh, hit by left hand.
Yeah.
2 seconds later, oh, and a right, it's both sides. It's
Yeah.
just like, you did this again.
You set me up.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see. But it's
That's cool though.
yeah.
And I like the fact that you're still like staying active, and I respect that because you put yourself in the line of fire.
Yeah.
That's one thing I definitely respect. Anyone that puts themselves out there, even like these accounts on the internet, like they put their face rather than just hiding behind their account.
Yeah.
I respect that. So for you, mad respect always,
Appreciate you,
my
brother.
brother.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We'll end it there. So we see PR looking at us.